sometimes you have a bad day or bad days, and then you have a bad hour or bad hours, and then you have a bad minute or bad minutes. It gets smaller and smaller, but you always say, I'm feeling bad right now. Okay, stop, relax, breathe. You stop, you release, you sing, you do something, and then you start to disconnect from that bad habit, and it starts to fall away.
Uh-huh.
I honestly, I don't remember what it feels like to be sad, because I go, oh, wait a minute, I'm sad. Wait a minute, what am I? Oh, I'm thinking, I'm listening to an old story. Why am I doing that? Get out of here. Anyway,
Yeah.
it's like, that's an old story. Oh, you're this, you're that. You're like, what? No, get out of here.
We call it the gremlin. It's like you have the gremlin.
Gremlin, yeah.
Get out of my, go away.
It's a story. It's a story. It's all a story. And so it's my job to tell my story. One of the songs is, since it's my job to tell my story, I'm going to tell it till I'm feeling really good. Since it's my job to tell my story. Nobody can tell your story for you. Nobody, unless you say, here, you tell my story for me. You tell my story for me. It's my job to create my story. So that's why people say, how are you doing today, Tim? I said, oh, every day's perfect from now until forever. You don't have to ask me again. How do you know? Because I decided. You know, Rosane, that's one of the biggest things. I released the addiction to evaluating everything.
Yes.
Do you realize how we learn to evaluate everything? Good, bad, so, better, worse. And someone says, how was your day? Oh, perfect. Really? How do you know? Oh, I just decided it's perfect. I love it. Because if you decide it's perfect, nobody can disagree with you.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you know what happens when you decide it's perfect? You don't see any reason to disagree with yourself.
Yes, I love it.
Because your mind will not capture those things that would contradict you.
You're right.
I tell you, your mind. I had a thought the other day that the mind is a very good hammer, but Source is the carpenter. Source is the one who takes the hammer and builds, but the mind is it's supposed to be at the inspiration of Source. The mind is not meant to make its own things. It's supposed to just serve the inspiration of Source, or it will serve in the bad thoughts that we don't like. So but when the mind is serving Source, then it just creates beautiful things.
Yes. So the comparison I like to give too is like, okay, you have the mind, that's the wild horses, and then you have the wagon, which holds the horse together, it's the body, right? And then you have the coachman, who is the one who is guiding everything. So that's your higher self.
Okay, yeah, that works.
Yeah, I like that example.
I like that too, yeah.
How does this flow? I create my life, I create my life, I create my life, and my life unfolds as my dreams.
Okay, so.
I got better. Get better, was it? Let's work on it.
I create my life 3 times.
Yeah.
It works. So you want to keep the beats. I create my life, I create my life, I create my life, and it's going perfectly.
Oh yes.
You want it to.
I create my life. I create my life, and it's work perfectly.
And I create my life, and it's flowing perfectly.
Yes.
See, so I create my life. I create my life. I create my life, and it's flowing perfectly. I create my life. I create my life. I create my life, and it's flowing perfectly. It's flowing perfectly. It's flowing perfectly. I create my life, and it's flowing perfectly. So see how you can use the last line to come back, and you can mix it a little bit. That's a nice song. I create my life. I create my life. I create my life, and it's flowing perfectly.
Flowing perfectly. Yes.